I picked up another collection. 2 short boxes full of Marvel and Silver books, some keys. Let's take a look at what I picked up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics, coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. We're going to do our long overdue 2,500 subscriber giveaway this Tuesday night, November 1st at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. There are going to be 3 prize winners that we'll pick at random from the least commented upon video from the month of May. So that's long overdue. We are getting close to 3,000 subscribers, and if we hit the 3,000 subscribers during the month of November, we will do that giveaway at the beginning of December. Follow us on the other socials, Instagram, Bronzeville_comics, on Whatnot, Bronzeville_comics. We do sales most Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. There will not be any sale on Halloween. We're going to take a week off, and actually I'm getting these collections together along with possibly some other books. So you're going to see a lot of books from this collection up for sale on November 7th and November 14th. Give us a follow and bookmark the shows. Those stores for those 2 shows will probably be populated in the next several days. Also, if you use the link in the description of this video, you can get $10 off your first purchase from Whatnot. And there's also a description to my eBay store. So, I picked this collection up from somebody I've dealt with numerous times in the past. This guy, Joe, he's a great guy. And he said, I got a couple of boxes you might want to look at. Gave me a good deal on the stuff. And as I dug through it, some of the stuff, especially not all of it, but some of the silver stuff and some of the bronze stuff was in really high grade, which it's always nice to find really high grade books from that era. There seems to be a commonality, which is not unusual. Sometimes you'll see the books are more damaged at the top just because of the way they were stored pretty much before the days of boards and specific comic book boxes. Things were stored in, like, milk crates or other types of paper, copy paper boxes that weren't tall enough to fit the books. So that's why it's harder to get books, from, let's say, the mid-70s and earlier in really high grade. But let's take a look at some of the keys. So it was 2 short boxes. Let's take a quick look at what I picked up. So, yeah, it's nighttime. I just picked up a couple short boxes of some Silver and Bronze Age Marvel books. We're going to take a look at what we have in here coming up. Okay, so I picked up a small collection. It was these 2 short boxes, and it had a lot of Silver and Bronze. I think it's all Marvel. So some Thors. And I'm going to have to go, I'll go through this, and a bunch of caps. There's some Captain America. So, all good stuff. I mean, all 20 centers, 15, 25. So, kind of jumps up and down a little bit. So I had pulled Well, yeah, quite a few caps. 20 more 20 centers. And so, let's see, what else do we have? Ooh, Team America. Can't wait to see them in the MCU. First box is almost all Cap and Thor. Maybe it was all Cap and Thor. And then we had some books out here. This classic cover, Second Falcon, another classic cover, Red Skull with Cosmic Cube, some really early-ish Thors. I think this is the first appearance of Ares. Dr. Doom cover, some of these early Beast solo books, some Jungle Action. Did not have the first Killmonger. Some FFs. So some decent books in here. And some Avengers. Did have some good Avengers books. Had first Scott Lang as a Taskmaster. That's in a little rough shape. Then some early the Hulk run. Had this classic subby cover. So this one, this was that character that people think Bill Murray's playing. Some of these Ant-Mans. Then look at this, Nick Fury #1, and #3, Steranko covers, Strange Tales 178, first Frankenstein #1, second Deathlock, Moon Knight #1, Marvel Feature #2, first Captain Britain in US Comics. So, and then a bunch of Iron Man. Again, no Thanos, no Moondragon. So, didn't have everything. You know, the best stuff. 100 there is not a bad book. Justin Hammer. And the Demon in a Bottle cover. So we're going to take a closer look at the biggest, we'll pull out the biggest books. So we took a quick look through those two short boxes. I pulled some of the bigger books. As you saw, there was one box was almost entirely Cap and Thor. Put all those in order. Picked up this one, this classic cover by Marie Severin with Red Skull and the Cosmic Cube. This, I forget the exact book, but it was used as an image in a lenticular cover afterwards. So that's the original. Here is the second appearance of Falcon. Of course, his first appearance is in 117. This is his second appearance. Lower grade book. You can see the wear and tearing on the spine. The cover of this, unfortunately, is detached. Now, a lot of the Cap keys from the Bronze Age involve other people becoming Cap and Bucky, and this is no exception. Issue 153, Captain America and the Falcon. You see this 20-cent picture frame cover. This was Marvel. I'm not familiar. This is circa 1972. In this era, a lot of the books used this picture frame where they would have this border around the book that, and then the artwork was really limited to that kind of bottom half of the front cover. And they left space for the trade dress up there. Another Cap key here. This is a book that I recently got back in a 9.6. Not this copy, but another copy. And I had mistakenly said this was a John Byrne cover. It is a Ron Wilson. I think it's Ron Wilson pencils and Bob Layton inks. But this classic cover with Cap using the shield to hold back Hulk. There was also a lot of Thor in that. And one key that was in there, this book was trending a lot over the last year. 129, the first appearance of Ares, I think also the first appearance of Hermes, and another a bunch of other first appearances of Greek gods with the anticipation that in Love and Thunder, Gore the God Butcher would butcher a lot of the Greek gods. He didn't. So that book kind of settled in. It's still key first appearances, one of the very earliest issues of Thor when it changed over from Journey into Mystery. This is a little bit lower grade, but this is issue 132. It's the first cameo appearance of Ego the Living Planet. He appears in full in the next issue, which unfortunately was not part of this collection. Neither was 134, which is the first High Evolutionary, but 135 is the second appearance of the High Evolutionary. 150, this is the origin of the Inhumans and also the first cover appearance of Hela. Of course, we saw Kate Blanchett portray Hela in the Thor Ragnarok movie. And then we go a little bit later in the Thor run, and we have this classic cover, battle cover between Thor and Doctor Doom. I believe that's a John Buscema cover. And, yeah. You see the initials there. JBJV. I'm not sure who JV would be. If you're familiar with who one of the Marvel inkers at the time would have been, leave it in the comments. Obviously, it's not Jim Valentino. Anyway, Ryan from Automatic Comics had highlighted this book as one of the classic Buscema battle covers, kind of building off Silver Surfer 4, that Surfer Thor cover. And if you're familiar with him, I can put a link in the description here. So you can check out that, and I thought that was interesting having this collection. And this is kind of a funny Thor key. Thor 5, this is the first appearance of Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher, the two goats that we see in Love and Thunder. You know, not everybody was a fan of that film. I watched it twice in 2 days. I saw it with a buddy of mine, the Thursday night premiere, and then I brought my kids to see it on Friday. And interestingly, when I rewatched it on Friday, being prepared for the tone, which kind of threw me off the first time I saw it, I enjoyed the piece more, understanding that that's what it was. Still flawed, still wish they did more with Gore, but I did appreciate it a little bit more and saw more of the heart in the relationship between Thor and Jane Foster. Let's move on. Another key, Jungle Action 5. This is the first appearance of Black Panther in title in Jungle Action, which is also his first solo story. And an appearance with Man-Ape, who is M'Baku, who's going to be seen in the Black Panther film. Just a handful of Fantastic Four books. 102 was among them. This is the final Kirby issue. Lee and Kirby worked on Fantastic Four from issue 1 through 102. They did use some Kirby artwork in 108, but that's really his swan song to Fantastic Four. And then 103 is when... Who takes over the art chores in this? Romita? That's actually a good question that I posed to myself. I think it's John Romita Sr. I don't think it's Buscema. Let's see. Yeah, it is John Romita. So, he takes over the art chores from Kirby. Not a whole lot of other FF keys in this collection. Excuse me. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold. But they did have these two, the 122, 123, and these are both pretty nice shape. The Galactus Surfer books. Those have been picking up steam in the last couple of years, in the anticipation that we're going to see those characters, and everybody keeps waiting for them. Are we going to see Silver Surfer in the holiday special? No, I don't think so. We're going to see Kevin Bacon. Avengers 181, first appearance of Scott Lang. Not as Ant-Man. That's in Marvel Feature 55. And then 195, the first cameo appearance of Taskmaster. And 196, the first full appearance of Taskmaster. Unfortunately, a little bit lower grade. You see a lot of wear on the spine there. That's a little bit unfortunate. There were some Incredible Hulk books in here. 118, this classic Submariner Hulk battle cover. 140, introducing Jarella, who was his love interest when he went into this kind of microverse before there was Planet Hulk. Since they don't always follow the storyline completely, would it be shocking if they used Jarella as the character who's Scar's mother when they explore that story? It wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility. But that's been a long-standing key. This is a newer key. First appearance of Krylar. There's been a lot of speculation that's picked up now that we know that Bill Murray is going to be in Quantumania, that Krylar is the character who he is playing. Don't know if that's how it's going to play out, but this is Krylar's first appearance. And then here we have Incredible Hulk 177 with this classic confrontation with Adam Warlock. And Hulk battle covers against other characters are always sought after. You know, like Fantastic Four 25 and what is it, Submariner 12 and FF 112, I think. And you also have Defenders 10 and Captain Marvel 21. Thor, the Hulk battle covers are always in demand. Speaking of covers that are always in demand, Jim Steranko covers are always in demand. And Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. This is a mid-grade copy, not a high-grade copy. And the collection also had #3, another Steranko cover. I'm toying with the idea. He's going to be at a show in New Jersey in a couple of weeks. Do I bring the book to get it signed? I'm thinking if I can find where they are, because I don't remember exactly where I have them. For personal collection reasons, the 2 books I would want to get Steranko to sign are his History of Comic Books Part 1 and Part 2. I probably should do an entire video on those books if I can dig them up, because they really are essential reading. Then there was Strange Tales 178. Adam Warlock. This is his first appearance in the Strange Tales series. He did bounce around a lot of Marvel Premiere. He had his own title and Strange Tales. And this is the first appearance of Magus, done by Jim Starlin. We also have, this is an interesting book, because the prices on this have been kind of going crazy lately, is The Monster of Frankenstein #1. The indicia of this book says Frankenstein, but usually most resources call this The Monster of Frankenstein. It does have a crease, a pretty big crease down in the cover here, right there. See it going through that kind of test tubey thing. But I'm considering sending this, cleaning and pressing it, and getting it graded. Astonishing Tales 26, the second appearance of Deathlock. That's a pretty high-grade book. Here's a book that's always a key. Moon Knight #1, first in his ongoing title. A lot of Moon Knight keys, obviously. Werewolf by Night 32 is his first appearance. Marvel Spotlight 28 is his first solo story. That's the first hit of his ongoing book. Marvel Feature #2. This is the second appearance of the Defenders. They appeared in the first 3 issues of Marvel Feature before they got their own title. Marvel Team Up #65. This is the first appearance in U.S. Comics of Captain Britain. And this book also has kind of a tag team. The cover is by George Perez, and the interiors are by John Byrne. I always find interesting the books that have that combination, either one way or the other. There are a couple of X-Men books that, you know, Byrne did the interior artwork, but Perez did the cover, and a couple of Avengers books where Byrne did the cover and Perez did the interiors. Then you have Iron Man 120, this great Bob Layton cover. This is also the first appearance of Justin Hammer, who Sam Rockwell played in Iron Man 2. And I think it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to see that character back in Armor Wars, which is now going to be a feature film. And speaking of Armor Wars, this is Iron Man 125, which is the first cover appearance of James Rhodes, well before he becomes War Machine. And I guess it's also the first appearance of Tony Stark in John Travolta's suit. And then the final book I have here is Iron Man 128, the classic Demon in a Bottle storyline cover, also a Layton cover. So I think Bob Layton is a fairly underappreciated artist from that era. So those are the keys from the haul. You saw me flipping through the books. So some pretty cool stuff there. Let me know what you think in the comments, what books I got. Again, I do not like to discuss price because it doesn't benefit either myself, I feel, or the person that sold the books. They did have another offer, but we've had an ongoing relationship, so we were able to make a deal. Happy to have the books. Gonna look through these to see which ones, based on condition and price, are worth pursuing getting cleaned and pressed and graded. Probably only a handful of those, and so we'll take a look at those. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a comment, always appreciated. You can also take a look at a couple other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.